The naval wars with Portugal, the Ottoman struggle for maritime supremacy. Introduction: a new battleground on the high seas. By the early 16th century, the Indian Ocean had become the stage for a global struggle. The rise of maritime empires, particularly the Portuguese, had disrupted the long-established trade networks dominated by Muslim merchants. The Portuguese Empire, under explorers like Vasco da Gama, had established strategic ports and naval bases across the Indian Ocean, monopolizing lucrative spice and silk trade routes and imposing heavy taxes on Muslim merchants. The Ottoman Empire, under Sultan Selim I and later Suleiman the Magnificent, emerged as the defenders of the Islamic world. With their conquest of Egypt and the Red Sea ports, the Ottomans inherited the responsibility of protecting the trade routes and the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. Portuguese naval dominance, marked by their use of advanced ships and heavy artillery, threatened the flow of goods and pilgrims. For the Ottomans, this was not merely a matter of commerce but a fight for religious and geopolitical supremacy. The clash begins. Ottoman entry into the Indian Ocean. The Ottomans began their naval campaign in the Indian Ocean after the fall of Egypt in 1517. Realizing the need to challenge the Portuguese at sea, Selim I ordered the construction of a fleet at the port of Suez. By 1538, under the reign of Suleiman the Magnificent, the Ottomans had built a formidable naval presence led by the capable Admiral Piri Reis, a seasoned cartographer and sailor. The first major confrontation occurred at Dio, a Portuguese-controlled fortress on the western coast of India. The Ottomans allied with local Muslim rulers, such as the Sultan of Gujarat, who had been under Portuguese pressure. Despite their efforts, the Portuguese, using superior naval tactics and firepower, repelled the Ottoman fleet. The Battle of Dio marked a frustrating start to Ottoman ambitions in the region. A fight for the Red Sea and the Arabian Peninsula. The Portuguese sought to extend their influence into the Red Sea, threatening the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. In response, the Ottomans fortified key ports, including Jeddah, and launched counteroffensives. Under the command of Selman Reis, the Ottoman fleet patrolled the Red Sea, repelling Portuguese incursions and ensuring the safety of the pilgrimage routes. The Ottomans also launched an ambitious expedition to take Hormuz, a key strategic point in the Persian Gulf. However, despite their numerical superiority, their efforts were thwarted by Portuguese fortifications and naval firepower. The Ottomans succeeded in securing parts of Yemen and Aden, creating a buffer against Portuguese aggression in the Arabian Peninsula. The Siege of Dio, a renewed Ottoman offensive. In 1538, Suleiman the Magnificent sent a powerful fleet under Hatem Suleiman Pasha, the governor of Egypt, to seize Dio. The Ottomans brought a large force, including infantry and artillery, hoping to capture the fortress and establish a permanent presence in the Indian Ocean. The siege was a grueling campaign. Portuguese defenders, led by Antonio de Silveira, fought valiantly, using superior naval artillery to repel Ottoman assaults. Despite initial successes in blockading the fortress and weakening its defenses, the Ottomans faced logistical challenges, including supply shortages and lack of reinforcements. The siege ultimately failed, marking a significant setback for Ottoman ambitions in the region. The defense of Yemen and the Red Sea. As the Ottomans shifted their focus to consolidating their control over Yemen, the Portuguese launched repeated raids on Red Sea ports. The Ottomans fortified Mocha, an important port for the coffee trade, and defeated Portuguese attempts to capture the city. By securing Yemen, the Ottomans protected the southern entrance to the Red Sea and maintained control over the pilgrimage routes to Mecca. The aftermath and the lessons of the war. The naval wars with Portugal highlighted the limits of Ottoman maritime power. While the Ottomans succeeded in defending the Red Sea and the Arabian Peninsula, they failed to break Portuguese dominance in the Indian Ocean. The Portuguese continued to control key trade routes and fortified ports, maintaining their stranglehold on global trade. Despite these setbacks, the Ottomans learned valuable lessons. They invested heavily in expanding their navy, modernizing their fleet, and strengthening their coastal defenses. These efforts would play a crucial role in their later naval campaigns in the Mediterranean, where they would face new challenges. Next chapter, the Battle of Preveza. With their efforts in the Indian Ocean slowed by Portuguese resistance, the Ottomans turned their focus westward to the Mediterranean, where they faced the growing power of European coalitions. Led by the legendary Admiral Hayreddin Barbarossa, the Ottoman Navy would clash with the Holy League in one of the most significant naval battles of the 16th century, the Battle of Preveza. This confrontation would determine the balance of power in the Mediterranean and further cement the Ottomans' maritime legacy.